UFC Fight Night 164 on ESPN Plus 22 Sao Paulo, Blachowicz versus Jacare took place last night. It was a decent event. We're going to break down the entire thing, giving our reactions to every fight, starting at the early prelims, ending with the main event. Let's get right into it, starting with Tracy Cortez versus Vanessa Melo. This was actually quite an entertaining fight. I enjoyed this one. For a women's fight, this was intriguing. Maybe it's because of how they looked. Maybe, don't judge me. But I was very interested by this one, okay? I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen at certain angles of the camera. I enjoyed it. Tracy Cortez gets a big win at women's bantamweight. I like it. We need attractive females in the women's bantamweight division because, let's be honest, no one gives a fuck if you're good at fighting in the female divisions. Look the part and we'll pay attention, okay? Call it sexism. It is. It really is. I can't even defend it. I was going to offer some kind of different thing, but it genuinely is. Just look good and win, and you'll be a superstar. And that's how it works. Ariane Lipski versus Isabella Dupuada. Ariane Lipski got the job done. I mean, Isabella took it on short notice, came in, weighed 4 pounds overweight. Lipski got the job done. It was fucking boring, but Lipski wins, and she looks good. So, good job, Lipski. Very good job. Douglas Silva de Andrade, or, to use his full name, Douglas de Silva de Andrade. Too many D's in one name. But he gets the job done over Renan Barão. I actually thought that Renan Barão could maybe win this one, but they gave every round to Douglas de Silva de Andrade, which was strange to me, but I guess they really don't give a fuck about takedowns anymore. That's what we're learning. The more and more we watch these fights, we're learning that it's basically significant strikes versus significant strikes. And that is it. There's no other aspect of martial arts other than significant strikes versus significant strikes. And we're learning it over and over again. And I think we need to start getting used to that. So Douglas Silva de Andrade looked good in the third round. Was loose in the third round. He's known to be a guy who gasses, but maybe he just gasses against a guy in Peter Yan who puts the pressure on him that he can't maintain. But you put him against a guy who's less of a pressure fighter, maybe he's a little bit more able to go 3 rounds. So we learned a lot about Douglas Silva de Andrade. And at featherweight, there's a plethora of guys for him to face. And for Renan Barão, I don't know, dude. You were 32-1. And then USADA came along. And you just, I don't know what he's going to do. He has a decent fan base. I just don't know what he's going to do. We'll see what happens. I guarantee you he gets another fight. But we'll see what happens. I don't really care. Wale Alves versus Randy Brown. Wale Alves. We are learning over and over and over again. He doesn't have any cardio whatsoever. If he doesn't get you out of there straight away or doesn't catch you with a big knockout punch, just going to give up. That's just how it is. We've learned that over and over again. We learned it in a James Krause fight not too long ago. Then he beat Sergio Moraes with a big flash KO. Then we learned it again in this fight as well. Winning the first round. Very happily winning the first round. Then just gasses out. You're not doing what everyone else is doing. That's clear to us, Wale Alves. I put my money on you. By the way, I bet Cortez got it right. Lipski got it right. Douglas Silva de Andrade got him right. Wale Alves got him wrong. Because we're learning more and more. Listen, if I can see a guy with good cardio coming up against Wale Alves and a decently good understanding of striking defense, I'm going to pick them versus Wale Alves from now on. Because he just gasses out after the first round and he can't keep a pace. And he got sloppy on top of Randy Brown. And Randy Brown put him in a triangle. Very good performance from Randy Brown. I like it. And at welterweight, we need interesting guys. Maybe if Randy Brown wants to save the UFC on the ESPN 7 card, he can fill in and fight Mickey Gall in a rematch. Because Mickey Gall needs an opponent right now. So we'll see what happens there. But as for Wale Alves, I don't fucking know what they're going to do. Probably Alves versus Moraes rematch, which we'll get to in a second about Moraes. Francisco Trinaldo versus Bobby Green. I thought this could have gone either way. A lot of people said that Green should have won. I thought it could have gone either way. Because when you're looking at a fight and there's nothing happening, and you're seeing Green slip shots, although it looks like he's winning because he's making the guy miss, he's not throwing anything back. And this has been a problem with Green his entire career. If you keep boxing with him, he's going to keep slipping your shots, but he's not going to ever throw anything meaningful back towards you. So those slipped shots mean nothing. They don't mean anything if you're not scoring points off of them. And it's either that or the best way to beat Bobby Green, throw hands at him, make him slip backwards, and then just fucking double leg his ass straight away. He has great wrestling, but Jesus Christ. I don't think this was a robbery. I thought it could have gone either way. I bet Trinaldo to win. I did very well betting on this card in my predictions. But yeah, I think Trinaldo did a good job. I don't know who I want to see him fight next. Maybe Trinaldo versus Dariush would be good. There you go. Trinaldo versus Dariush. Bobby Green versus Clay Guida. Sign me up. Those are some good fights. Ricardo Ramos versus Luis Eduardo Gregori. I picked Ramos to win. I thought he'd get the finish, but I didn't think he'd do it like that. I didn't think he'd get it in the first round. I really didn't. But he gets the rear naked choke in the first. Puts Eduardo Gregori on the mat. It was just a tough night for him. Ricardo Ramos coming up from bantamweight to featherweight, making a statement in his featherweight debut. I think he's a guy that can do both. I don't think featherweight's a mainstay for him. Because he's a decently sized bantamweight. I think he could go back and forth and just make some money. And just build his contract up and up and up. Because he's winning a lot of fights back to back. I mean, he lost to Saeed Nurmagomedov at bantamweight. So maybe that's why he wanted to move up. Because he wanted to take shots a little bit better. I don't mind what he does. I'm watching this guy fight. He should be on the main card of the next Brazil card. Because we'll get to the main card in a second. But there was plenty of guys that should have been nowhere near a main card slot. Okay? Ricardo Ramos puts on a show against Gregori. Very good job. I thought Gregori was a little bit overrated. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think I think the fight that he had in his debut against Humberto Bandone could have gone either way. I didn't think the hype was real on him being undefeated. I thought he'd fought a bunch of tin cans, which he had. The two guys that he fought before joining UFC were making their pro debut. And he was 10-0, 11-0. So I didn't rate him at all. And I thought Ramos was going to win. So that was a good prediction. Ramos gets the job done. And for Ramos at featherweight, listen. There's a bunch of guys. Maybe we can do a Ramos versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. Both guys at featherweight. Both guys coming off decently good wins. Let's make that fight happen. I think Ramos dismantles him. Sergio Moraes versus James Krause. I'm pretty sure everyone picked James Krause here if they have a brain. James Krause is an absolute savage. Headline of the prelims. Puts the pressure on guys. Talks shit to him the entire time. Very Nick Diaz-esque with the way he throws punches. But he mixes in some kicks as well. He's just a phenomenal fighter. He really is. He makes you miss. He's got a solid chin. And he picks you apart and breaks you. And that's what he did to Sergio Moraes. Moraes was just biting on everything. James Krause, even when he's not throwing punches at you, he's faking. He's in your face. He's talking to you. He's making you work. Sergio Moraes would wind up a big shot and Krause would just slide out of the way. And Moraes would waste all that energy throwing a shot for nothing. And it was just over and over and over again. You could see it between rounds. Moraes was breaking. And that's what I predicted. I said it would be a third round TKO for James Krause. He got it done in the third round by TKO. The later half of the fight. James Krause is a phenomenal fighter. I think he should take on a Nico Price, a Gilbert Burns, a Neil Magny, maybe not Robbie Lawler, but one of them guys. James Krause, I mean, 6 fights in a row. He's won 6 fights in a row. What more does he have to do? He got a big KO in enemy territory on the headliner of a prelims. Put this man on the main card against a decent opponent at welterweight. Maybe even Randy Brown. But I don't even want to see that. I feel like this guy's earned a decently good name just outside the rankings at welterweight. We'll see what happens. Maybe we see James Krause versus Nico Price. Maybe we see James Krause versus Gilbert Burns. I'm down for anything. Main card. Jesus Christ, this fucking main card was shit. The Joker himself, Marcus Perez versus Wellington Turman. I mean, it was just Perez. I don't know what to say. I actually don't know how to break down these main card fights. I really don't. I was so interested by the prelims. The prelims were amazing. I picked Marcus Perez to win. Wellington Turman got it done. I have nothing else to say. It was a good fight. Wellington Turman was just beating him in the grappling exchanges. Even though Perez had good grappling defense and he wasn't staying on the ground, you can't allow a guy to hold you for that long. Like, even if you're getting back up from these takedowns, like, the guy is on you. Like, you're not creating any kind of exchange. Wellington Turman's leading the dance. And he was tagging Marcus Perez on the feet as well. There were moments where Perez would have some good shots on the feet. Like, he threw like 4 body kicks in a row at one point, but why are you saving that for the third round, you dumb fuck? Like, I don't know. I wasn't very impressed by Marcus Perez. Wellington Turman, I wasn't too impressed either, to be honest with you. But you got the job done. Well done, dude. Good job. Big, strong middleweight. I like it. Let's make it happen. Wellington Turman versus Brendan Allen. would be a good fight to make next. Antonio Arroyo versus Andre Muniz. Dana White claimed this would be the fight of the night because there is Contender Series, guys. Sean Shelby and Nick Maynard need to have a real talking to with Dana White if they can, and just say, listen, Dana, your Contender Series guys, we need to keep them as far away from the main card as humanly possible. Because that was utter fucking dog shit. That was dog shit. I thought it could have gone either way. I bet on Andre Muniz to win. He got the win. Well done, Andre Muniz. Fucking Contender Series guys should not be on the main card over guys on the prelims like Sergio Moraes and James Krause. James Krause has won 5 in a row before this one. Now 6 in a row. Why is he on the prelims? Ricardo Ramos, a beast, very marketable guy. Very marketable guy. Putting on good performances. He's on the prelims. Trinaldo versus Bobby Green. Everyone knows Bobby Green. On the prelims. Wale Alves, Randy Brown, dangerous welterweights. Why is your shitty fucking Contender Series guys hogging up space and putting on shit performances like they always do? Every single Contender Series guy I watch fight puts on a fucking shit show. Why are they on main cards? Fucking Dana, man. They're shit. Charles Oliveira versus Jared Gordon. Great performance. Really good job by Charles Oliveira. Gets to finish this. And Charles Oliveira crushes any can that exists. That's what he does. I think what's next for him is Alexander Hernandez. He got the job done. Got the finish early. Very well done by Charles Oliveira. I liked the performance. It was a very good performance. Him versus Alexander Hernandez makes sense next. The winner of that one can call out someone in the top 10. That's what I think. Jared Gordon, just another can. And just another can added to the recycling heap. That's all he is. Charles Oliveira gets it done in the first round. Very impressive. And he looked very good on this main card because everyone else was shit. Shogun Rua versus Paul Craig. Shouldn't have been a draw. It was a robbery. I thought Shogun clearly won 2 and 3. They gave it a draw, which means they gave a round a draw because there was no way a 10-8. But I've never seen a round being scored a draw in my life. So that's a first for me. I don't know how. I really don't know how. There's always a way to score a guy around. You want to avoid as many draws as possible because they just hold up the division. No one progresses. No one goes backwards. It holds up the division. It puts it in a standstill. And now I don't know what I want to see next. Both guys not coming off of anything. It's a draw. But I wouldn't mind seeing Shogun Rua versus Johnny Walker in Brazil. That would be great. I hope Shogun Rua loses, to be honest with you, because I'm becoming less and less entertained by his fights as the years go on. That's just a natural aging process. I don't blame him for that. He's an older guy. I get it. And for Paul Craig, I don't know, man. I don't know. Paul Craig versus Kutalaba. Sign me up. There you go. That's a great fight. Jan Blachowicz versus Jacare Ronaldo Souza. Sorry, I just had PTSD. Shit. Sorry. Where was I? Oh yeah, Blachowicz versus Jacare. Oh God. Don't know what's come over me recently. I just feel really tired for some reason. Yeah, they fought each other. Blachowicz clearly won, in my opinion. They went to a split decision. Light heavyweight division, man. Just no interest whatsoever. I don't know what to say about the fight. I mean, Jacare just failed takedowns and held on to Blachowicz against the cage. And when they broke, Blachowicz just beat the shit out of him with his broken foot. At least Blachowicz has an excuse. I was saying this yesterday as well. Blachowicz has an excuse. He broke his foot. Jacare has no excuse whatsoever. That was terrible. It was terrible to watch. No way in hell did Jacare win that fight. Blachowicz outstruck him every round. And other than the striking, there was nothing. So I don't know what you're scoring. Are you scoring cage control? If you are scoring cage control, you are opening a door that you do not want to open. Because guys are going to abuse that so much. It is... I know a lot of people are going to criticize this, but it is very easy if you're the initiator to keep cage control. Because you're immediately at an advantage over the guy you're facing. Because you can lean. The guy at the back can't lean. He's off balance. He's working with what you're doing. But if you're on front... If you want to start scoring cage control and giving rounds for cage control and no damage whatsoever, you're going to open a slew of guys that are going to come in and try abusing that rule for damn sure. And I don't want to see that happen. Jan Blachowicz clearly got the win. What's next for these guys? Listen, I think they should do Corey Anderson versus Anthony Smith. I think that would be a really good one. I think Jacare could maybe face Weidman if Weidman wants to stick around. And they could do a rematch at light heavyweight. Sign me up. I don't really care. Maybe the loser goes home. That would make some sense. Jacare versus Weidman at light heavyweight sounds good for me. And then Blachowicz just, I don't know, man. That wasn't the performance you needed. That just wasn't the performance that we were looking for. And also, Derek Brunson was talking shit. First of all, it was quite funny. Blachowicz should have had this comeback. Derek Brunson said, "Thank God you put my kids to sleep." Oh, that was boring, or whatever he said. He put your kids to sleep. It was boring. Thank you, or whatever. Blachowicz should have said, "This is why I need to be the social media worker of all these fighters." Blachowicz's comeback should have been this. Maybe I should have gotten KO'd by head kick in the first round by the jiu-jitsu specialist. Would that have been more entertaining for you? That's what he should have replied. It's perfect. Derek Brunson's talking about a bad performance when you won over a guy that he got head kick KO'd by twice. A jiu-jitsu specialist. Head kick KO'd Brunson twice. Come back harder, Blachowicz. You need me on your team, man. I'd be fucking slewing out Burns. Left and right. On short notice as well. Gilbert style, you know? Jan Blachowicz won. Good job. I don't know what I want to see him fight next. Maybe Jan Blachowicz versus the winner of Ozdemir versus Rakic. There you go. I don't think he's earned a title shot. He called for a title shot. That's never happening. Reyes looks like he's going to get the title shot for now. But Jan Blachowicz versus the winner of Ozdemir versus Rakic. Sounds good. Sounds good. The winner of Ozdemir Rakic is going to get a lot of hype behind them. I doubt Jan Blachowicz is going to be headlining a main event anytime soon. Headlining a card anytime soon, because his stock went way down after that performance. So maybe Jan Blachowicz versus the winner of Ozdemir versus Rakic in the co-main event of a fight night. That sounds good to me. I would happily watch that card. Sign me up. Blachowicz versus the winner of Rakic versus Ozdemir. Jacare versus Weidman. The rematch. Loser goes home. Or maybe Jacare versus Rockhold, if Rockhold wants to sacrifice that chin one more time for our entertainment. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. The main card was shit. The prelims were wonderful. I wish they would have switched the whole card around. That would have been amazing. Imagine if James Krause KO'ing fucking... This is what the card should have been. Charles Oliveira headlines. James Krause Moraes co-main event. Yeah? Ricardo Ramos versus Luis Eduardo Gregori, third fight down. Trinaldo Bobby Green on the main card. Wale Alves Randy Brown on the main card. And then everyone else, put them on the prelims. That's what they deserve. Because that was utter fucking dog shit. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye. Yeah.